Check out this clip from my interview with Lil Train from MARAVlLLA. In this clip, Lil Train reacts to BG Knockout saying Mexicans are allowed to snitch on their enemies. He also discusses being in high power with BG Knockout's brother, Gangsta Dresta. He mentioned that Mexican gang members are more likely to snitch on their enemies to get them arrested. Do you think that's true, or was he speaking out of place?
That was way out. That kind of like, he really disappointed me on that one, because I really like, you know, ever since he made that song, I'm like, damn, that's a G, you know, because I understood he was young when he made that song, and he was gonna ride with Easy because Easy gave him a chance, right? And he did time. He did like 10 years. He was, I think, for Naughty Block, right?
Yeah.
So he, you know, I was actually on the bus back in High Power years ago with his brother Dresta. Years ago, I remember, because he told me, yeah, I'm Dresta, and I remember because at the time we had the green light, so we were caged up, and I was in High Power, and he was in High Power, right?
What's High Power?
High Power is when you wear the oranges,
okay,
and you're K10, like you're keep away from everybody. Yeah, you're shackled from feet to toe, you know.
Okay.
And and his brother Dresta, his older brother, was on the bus with me. I'm like, man, and he was telling me, I go, yeah, blah blah, your brother, you know, he's a shit, you know. And so, anyways, so when I heard on the Vlad and I seen that, and I was just like, that's kind of way out, because some of us could say the same thing about the young black folks the same way, right? And me personally, where I live, it's all Mexican gangs, you know. So I have no say on that. I can't say which way, if young blacks told or not, right? Because I'm not from Florence, I'm not from 38th Street, I'm not from any of those Mexican gangs on the south side where there's black neighborhoods, East Coast, all that. So I really didn't have either way I could really comment on that, because I don't know. I never battled with them, I never went at it with them, so I couldn't say if they did snitch or not, right? So, but when I heard him say that, I felt like, no, that's far from it, because if we snitch, it's over. And I mean, Mexican rules, I mean, Southern Hispanic rules are like, you might as well just join the damn army, because of the Marines, because it's more easier to join the Navy SEALs than it is to be a Mexican homie and from California, you know. It's just, they're so strict. There's no snitching. You're not allowed to snitch on your enemy. There's no way, because I guarantee you, say a Crip homie, just say for instance, if you're from East Coast Crip and I'm from Florence, and you got paperwork on me, I guarantee you, if you send that paperwork to another homie from Florence in prison, I mean in county jail, and he ignores it, it's going to be his ass too, because now he's condoning a rat. So I don't know where he was coming out with that, because you don't do that. It doesn't matter that you guys hate each other as enemies. It doesn't matter that, oh, well, I killed an enemy, or he's my enemy, well, F him anyways. They don't play that shit, because a snitch is a snitch, and it's not part of the game. It's either I get you or I don't get you, but you don't do that, you know. You don't cooperate. So I don't know where he came out with that. That you don't do that kind of stuff, and it's just not right. There's an example years ago. One of my homies was from another MARAVlLLA, and the other MARAVlLLA, one of my homies got stabbed up from another MARAVlLLA, right? And we're worst enemies. We were going at it tough. We hated each other, but he had paperwork on our homie, and we handled it. We still took care of it, even though it hurt us, because it's so embarrassing.
Shout out to Lil Train. I enjoyed my conversation with him. The link to the full interview is in the description, so if you want to click on that, go ahead and check out my full interview with Lil Train. BG Knockout has been trending lately, going viral, and old clips are resurfacing of him discussing on Vlad TV that the brown homies are allowed to snitch on each other. And that did not sit well with the community. He went viral back then, and like I mentioned, that clip pops up from time to time, comes back to bite him in the butt. Apparently there is footage, evidence, paperwork. I don't know much about it just yet. Haven't dived that deep into it, but apparently there are some snitching allegations against BG Knockout that stem back from an incident in the early 90s. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the story, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but that is what brought up this old Vlad TV clip of BG Knockout saying those things about Mexicans being able to snitch on their enemies. Controversial topic. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please comment down below. Go ahead and let me know what you think about this, and if you know anything else about BG Knockout allegedly snitching back in the early 90s. Comment down below, and please hit that like button if you have not already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, you just might appreciate this bonus clip I'm about to play for you right now.
Can you talk to us a little bit about Primo Pete and any other Latino or Mexican Hispanic dudes that were part?
Pete, we had Primo Pete, Juju Rap, Leonard. There was a number of Latinos that were around that was actually involved in being actual Santana blocks, because we have we're based in a predominantly Black and Latino area, so it didn't. The name in itself would make it very easy for Latinos to claim Santana block. Yep. It would make it. So we had homegirls that, was Latinas, and we had homeboys that were Latinos. And we also had people like Jab, Poncho, Dopey, Cold Cheese, and Frito, and all these other cats from the CV3. We got along with those dudes. They was right there with us, man. Jap used to come down to my house all the time, chopping up with my dad. Jap was actually a very talented guy. He was really a numbers guy, very talented with numbers on. He was a mathematical guy. So, but anyway, so we grew up with those guys. So it was real easy during those times. There's no beefing, nobody getting into it, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, Primo Pete was a big part of it, because the guys that we had when we got into it, guys didn't know, like my homie Mondo speaks fluent Spanish. So we had people that spoke fluent Spanish in our circle, and the guys that didn't, that came in to be part of the trade, being that business, they didn't know that all the guys they sitting up there talking, they might be talking to themselves, but all the time we know exactly what's being said. So it was never no misunderstanding, and they was kind of shocked when they realized that we were reading we knew everything they were saying. You know what I mean? It only just made our position more stronger with them. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you something about the Latino people. When you speak their language and you know their culture, they don't care what your color is.
There you go. Facts.
All they care about is can you speak the language? Do you know the culture? That's what they care about.
Yeah. Interesting. Let me ask you, you mentioned, people weren't really beefing. When, in your eyes, when did it go from, just a fist fights to just all out gunplay?
Well, that started in the 70s. In the 70s, we did a lot of fighting. Towards the end of the 70s, things started changing, because you got to remember the first guys, those 70 guys, the 71, 72, 73 guys, a lot of them had started going to prison, right? So that power structure or that leadership was no longer there. So now you got the guys that's in my age group, because I came around in 72, so I was 13 at the time. But then one time, 73, 74, now I'm 14, 15. Now you got a different mindset of guys that was left there to kind of keep things going. So now nobody handed us the instructions. In other words, we didn't have a pamphlet, a booklet, or a set of rules. You know what I mean? The 10-point program was not effective with us. You know what I mean? So now you gotta mimic as you go. You know what I mean? Kind of make it up as you go, and a lot of that stuff just got just taken out of context. Because what we understand today is that we have a great deal more in common than we did not in common. So we failed to communicate. That was the biggest problem. See, because God created us all with the ability to communicate. That is the human being greatest tool we have is the ability to communicate. But if you don't use it, things can easily get messed up very quickly.
Yeah. One word can mess everything
So that's
up.
that. Yeah. So, and then you got to understand that vagina plays a big role in that too. See, people don't want to talk about that, but vagina plays a big role.
Speak on
Vagina, a lot of wars, a lot of these gang wars have been fought based on vagina.
Man.
Because vagina does, and I don't want to sound too.
No, you are
brash
100%
about it.
correct. I
Yeah.
mean, wars in history.
Vagina will say, "I like you guys today, but tomorrow I'm gonna go over here and hang out with your enemies." So the male ego sees that, so now he's taking offense to that. But vagina is emotional. You know what I'm saying? Men use logic and reason, and I'm not saying that all these guys, these Crip guys, had the ability to do it. But what I'm saying, it became convoluted. So now you see the girls that you used to deal with. Now you see them hanging out with the dudes that you pretty much got problems with. You know, so that in itself, man. You know what I mean? And I used to tell guys all the time, man, don't let the homegirls know what we're doing, man, because they won't be able to maintain the confidence or hold the secrets that we need them to hold, because especially if they got kids.
Oh yeah, the police will use those kids against them, and they'll just squeal like.
I seen one girl, man, and everybody on the net probably knows her. We call her Crip Crazy, man. Crip Crazy is the only girl that I ever seen from my eyes tell the police, listen, the police was pressuring her. She had 2 kids, and she went to her kids and say, listen, kids, y'all gonna go with these people right now, but when I get a chance, I'm gonna get y'all back. But right now, y'all got to go with these people because I can't do what they want me to do. And she let her kids go. You know what I mean? But she got them back later on. But they actually tried to use her kids against her to get her to talk. You know, but it didn't work. You know, and I'm saying we're not a monolith. You know, everybody's not the same. You know, some people just see things in different terms. You know. Most people say, "Man, that was crazy of her," but she knew what she had involved herself in, and she had to, you know, stick by the code. You know, there's a code. You know what I mean? And if you inject yourself into something, and you know what the code is, that's just what it is, man.